So I've had a crazy pace the last few weeks. But I am having a lot of fun, and what I've been telling people is like, when you start a business, you start it because you love doing something, right? Like if you start a bake shop, you start a bake shop because you love baking, right?
Yep.
If you start a mechanic shop that takes off, you start it because you love cars, you like working on cars. Maybe that's what you're good at, But eventually, as your business grows, you end up taking on task and getting like, as your business grows, and then you outsource, labor. So in this case, training dogs to other people. So you can focus on growing the business, you slowly get further and further away from that. And so like in the example of a baker, right? Lady starts a bake shop because she loves baking cookies. She bakes the best cookies in town. And then it's like, well, she's growing. So she gets a couple part-time college students to help her on, a couple days a week. And then they're there more days a week or whatnot. And then soon they're doing most of the baking and she's going to the grocery store. She's buying the flour. She's buying the sugar. She's doing this. She's taking care of the book. She's scheduling people. She's doing all this stuff. And she's not baking cookies anymore.
Yeah.
That kind of can happen to you if you own I'm going to put in like a decent sized dog training business, right? And for the record, like most dog training businesses are like one man shows or one woman shows. They don't have employees. They don't have everybody working in the office or whatnot. And so like, and we've got employees. I think we have like around 10 employees across, different cities and stuff like that. So anyways, all that being said, I'm not trying to brag. We just have we have a fairly successful dog training company for this industry.
Yeah.
Anyways, and so for a long time now, I'm still very involved in the day-to-day, but I mostly sell people dog training and do the show and run the business. Like those are kind of like my three, I wouldn't even call the show my main job, but running the business and doing sales, that's kind of my main job, right?
Yeah.
And so anyways, it's been a lot of fun going to town, going to Nashville and training and stuff. It's been a bit inconvenient in the sense that, I have to pack up and leave here and stop doing my work here to do it there and then make up for it on the weekends. And I've been working Sundays and working. It's just been crazy, but I have been having a lot of fun because I love training dogs. I love helping people with their dogs. It's like my favorite thing. It's like what I've dedicated my whole adult life to so far. I started training dogs, shortly after high school and shortly after turning 19, and I'm about to turn 30 here in a few months. So anyways, all that being said, it's been a ton of fun, but anyways, so I've just been, training dogs. A lot of dogs, and it's been going great. But anyways, I've just got some stuff that I've been thinking about that I was like, hey, I want to talk about this. My first one, I would say, is one of our craziest success stories. This one's pretty funny. So the Yorkie with Michael. Yeah, so we've got a client named Michael in Nashville, and he's got a little Yorkie named Oliver. And anyways, he had gone through both of our trainers in Nashville and used both of them. And his main goal was to get rid of the potty pads in his house. And so I go to his house, and it was just as the trainers had said. There was potty pads everywhere. There was potty pads all over the floor. And I think I counted like 20 total.
Yeah, he furnished his house with potty pads.
Pretty much, yeah. He had a one-bedroom apartment, and there weren't any potty pads in his bedroom. Or in the bathroom, but they were all over the living room and the kitchen and stuff like that. And so he had to like step over potty pads or, walk on them to walk through the house and stuff. Anyways, his big goal was to get rid of the potty pads or whatnot. And so and for the record, we train dogs to go outside. Like if you want your dog to potty outside, that's what we train them to do. Right?
Yeah.
So anyways, all that being said, we had, I sat him down, and I noticed there was a couple spots in his, living room though that didn't have a pad. Like behind the chair, there was brown carpet. It didn't have a potty pad on it. And then in his bedroom, he had told me through conversation. It took about 30 minutes to get this information, but in his bedroom, if he's hanging out with the dog will only pee on the pad in the bedroom. Like it doesn't just pee on the floor. Anyway, so I started thinking to myself, okay, I think the dog might actually be more pad trained than we think. He's just got him everywhere, so he potties everywhere. So. Anyways, I started with it was basically just like a science experiment. I have a hypothesis, we do a thing, and then we test to see did it work or did it not work, and then change routes, right? So anyways, that first day I was like, we're just going to take up 4 out of the 18 to 20 potty pads or 5 or something like that. So he took them up in obscure places, places the dog doesn't potty, right?
Yeah.
He didn't go potty. Then I came out a couple days later. I think we took up 4 more. So we were down from 18 or 20 down to 10 or something like that. Then when I came out the next week, he'd gotten rid of the majority of them. It was down to 5, kind of spaced out throughout the house or whatnot. And anyways, that was just really cool because his big goal was I want to be able to get the potty pads to go away, And then, we did. Slowly over time, we got the potty pads to go away. So
that it's a fun story, but that little dog must have been so confused that it literally gave him permission to go pee and poop wherever he wanted, didn't he? Because of all the potty pads.
Right. Yeah, and you might be thinking to yourself, if you're listening, like, oh, why didn't you just take the dog outside? Well, he lives in an apartment complex, and it's kind of difficult to get the dog outside. He has to
Yeah.
walk through, like, walk a long way, go through a lot of doors and stuff. The
Yeah.
dog will potty outside if he takes it outside, but
Yeah.
it's just difficult for him. And so, like, if you want your dog to pee on potty pads, that's cool. I don't care where your dog goes, you know, as long as they're going there. But anyways, I'm glad that worked out, though, because I was
Absolutely. And I bet he's
stressing.
happy, actually.
Oh, he couldn't believe it. Yeah, because
Yeah.
whenever I remember that first day, whenever he took up the 5 potty pads, he's like, I don't think it's going to work. And I was like, well, you got to believe. You got to have some faith. So anyways, it ended up working out, though. So that was pretty cool.
Nice. So anybody who's got shares in potty pads, your shares are going to go down because Michael's not buying as many.
Yeah.
Bless him. That is good.
Sometimes I do think about that. Like if I buy a lot of something and I stop, like, what
I
they
was
gonna, what are they going to think? They're going to be looking at their numbers and be like, I miss this guy. Like I used to eat Chipotle every day, like twice a day.
Well,
you know?
if he'd got 18 potty pads down
Changing out
and
3 or 4
changing
or 5
out 3 or
of them per
4,
day.
yeah,
he's buying a
because
pack.
he's just
I don't know how
going-
many come in a pack. I've never bought a pack of potty pads, to be honest. But yeah, I've never bought a pack of potty pads, so I don't know how many they come. I'm sure you can buy big packs or little packs.
Yeah. I bet he was getting economy pack.
If I was going to buy them, I'd buy them at Costco, though, I bet. I'm sure they sell them there.
I'm sure they would.
I don't know.
I don't know. Get them off Amazon
Yeah.
and other retailers.
Yeah. Anyways,
So did he graduate?
he did. Yeah. No, he
Got
got his
his
diploma.
certificate
Yeah. He was my
and-
first diploma in Nashville.
Woo!
Yeah. I think I'm at like 4 or 5 out of however many I'm training right now or whatnot.
Nice.
Bagged 3 graduates yesterday. That was nice. It was very nice. Basically, I mean, most of my whole day yesterday was graduate. I think I did 2 more that weren't graduates, but yeah, pretty much everybody graduated yesterday.
That is
so
awesome.